So creating great content on YouTube is actually pretty easy, but we definitely overcomplicate it, and I think it's become quite misunderstood in 2025. And after creating thousands, literally thousands of videos on YouTube and off of YouTube, I've started to notice a trend and things that are working and things that we're seeing, especially being affected by AI. So I'm going to take you through some of the points that will hopefully have you creating faster, easier, and better content, which will actually be much less effort for you to do. And some of the first things I would like to go through are, we're going to start with AI, because what I'm seeing with AI, and I love AI, don't get me wrong, AI for brainstorming and getting script ideas or even bullet points, it can be really, really good, but it's still not there yet. And what we are doing is most of us are starting to dump into AI a little bit too much. We're getting a little bit too comfortable with going to AI and trusting it for our thumbnails ideas, for our titles, for our video ideas, for script outlining, and we're just dumping into it a bit too much. And we have to remember that AI is a little bit inbred at this point. It's not really thinking for itself and creating new ideas. It's taking the ideas off the internet, off everything that we post on the internet. And let's face it, most of the internet is full of crap. So if we're starting to train AI off of all the stuff on here, and we're creating all of our content on AI, with AI, and then we're posting that on the internet, that is then training the AI, then what we're doing is we're getting lots of content that's been made by AI and is then training new AI on what to make. So we're kind of getting inbred AI content here, which is losing its soul a little bit. It's losing its sort of originality and its authentic voice. And I think this is what we're losing a lot when we dump too much into AI. So it's great to use these tools. It's great to get ideas. It's great to see what's working for other people online. But then we also want to make sure that we are trying to get our authentic voice and to embrace our authentic voice to make our stuff original. It's why I don't like scripting videos too much. It's why I like trying to do one-take videos where you're speaking to a friend, because it's going to feel more real, it's going to be more authentic, and it's not going to be this sort of dumping of AI content that's coming out. So you really want to be mindful of how you're using AI. Use it for brainstorming, use it for ideas. Don't use it for becoming the voice of you and your brand, because that's when you will lose out, I think, in the long term, as AI starts to spread even further. Your voice is how you're going to stand out. So we need to find ways to be original. And this is becoming more and more important. It's less about quality and more about what you're saying in the video and how you're saying it, and how original or different you are in the way that you do it. So I'm not saying that you need to go out and be happy, clappy, weird, do crazy things, be Alex Hormozy where you've got big muscles and a mustache and a thing on your nose and a hat. We don't have to be crazy with our branding, but we do want to find ways to be original. And being original for most people, I believe, is that you just step into who you actually are when you're not on camera. So lean more into that person. How do you speak when you're talking to friends? How do you communicate? If there's any quirks that you have, embrace them. So we want to find ways to be original. And that can be in the type of format and the way that you do your videos compared to other people. So if you see that everybody in the industry, in that your industry, makes videos in a particular way, sure, model what's working, but then think of a way how you can put your spin on things and do things a little bit differently. Is why we see a lot of sort of talking head videos working really well, where people are suddenly outside and they're still just talking to the camera like I am now, but it's the changing background that suddenly makes things a little bit different, a little bit original. So any little subtle shift in your brand and the way that you do things in terms of formatting can make you more original. Because currently we have a sea of vanilla. If we are all copying everybody, and a lot of people don't understand the term of stealing like an artist, where you take inspiration, a lot of people are just outright copying. And if you're outright copying and using AI, then you're just going to blend into the sea of vanilla. So we really want to find our authentic voice, not lean too much on AI, and then also try to be original, like this surfer dude up here who is riding the wave of vanilla. Yes, that's a wave. riding a wave of vanilla. And yes, he's riding the wave. He's doing what's working. He's giving people what they want. We still want to go where the demand and the wave is going, but we just want to be a little bit original to stand out above all of the wave of everybody else. So we want to stand above and just to find a way to stand out a little bit. So bring in your views. You don't need to go suddenly political and go really extreme, but bring in your views. If there's things you don't like, say it. I don't like this for this reason. I like this. Share your opinions and your views, because it's your opinions and your views that make you original and different. So we really want to embrace these and not be scared of eliminating some people, maybe being a little bit polarizing. It's okay to have haters. It's okay to have people that disagree with you. In fact, it's a good thing. Don't do it intentionally, but do it, don't do it without good reason. If it's who you are, then do it. But we want to embrace our views, embrace who we are, and be okay with possibly being disliked by a few people. And I think something that we don't do enough is having fun. One of my favorite terms I like to say is, what would this look like if it was fun and easy? And you want to look at your content and go, how can I make this more fun for the people watching? How can I make it more fun for me? If I have a laugh and I joke around, or if I make a mistake, laugh at yourself, bring some humor into it. Make it okay. Now, you don't have to be a dancing monkey if you're not someone that's that funny naturally. No, don't worry about it. But have fun with it yourself. Smile, have fun, chat, enjoy it. You could be drinking a coffee at the same time. Make it like you're bringing friends into your inner circle. How you teach is up to you. Bring your own style and flair to it. You could be sitting on the sofa coaching. You could be sitting at a desk like me. You could be walking down the street. But have your own way of doing things and have fun with it and just make it more relaxed. And the next thing is that we have to get paid. Now, as creators, I think it's really important that we get paid. We are able to be creative and that we get paid. So whatever you're doing, you do want to make sure, and this is sort of off-piste of the topic, but I would say that yes, creating your content is important. Yes, sharing your message with the world, but you want to make sure that it's a message that people want, people will pay for, and ideally you can build a business around of some kind. So I think it's really important that we get paid and we tap into the artistic side and the business side, because the business side will relieve the pressure and the stress. And we obviously want to be able to do our passions to a degree, so we need to get paid for that to happen. But you also have to feed the artist. So feeding the artist is making it fun, doing it your way. If you make more relaxed videos because you don't want to be in such a stuffy environment, then maybe you would say, okay, but with my niche, it's more professional, so maybe I'll lose some people. Fine. Sod it. It doesn't matter. They're not your people anyways. It's better for you to feed the artist and do things in the way and the style that you want, because then you will continuously do it. You will still find some of your people to build your business around. But we have to get paid. So we really want to focus on ways to get paid and format our channel and our business in the right way. Now, if you would like more help with that, I will put a link in the video description to our free community where you can get more training on how to build a business around YouTube and to grow it that way. But otherwise, try to make sure you're at least going to be able to make some money out of what you're doing for this type of content. And then the next one is bring energy. Bring energy to this. Even if your videos are bad, if you're bringing energy to this, then your people are going to enjoy it. You're going to enjoy it. And yeah, the people just see your fun and pleasure in it. So if it's something you're passionate about, bring the energy, tap into that. I think it's important not to just pick niches because we think it's the way to make money. If you're not passionate or interested in it, then you won't have any energy around it. You'll get bored real quick and you just won't feel it. But I think in terms of content creation, you want to bring some energy, even if the video and the production is bad, because people will feel that energy and they will connect with it. So remember, it's more about what you're doing and what you're saying and what you're presenting in the video versus the quality of the production and everything else, especially these days. So I want you to remember that YouTube is the vehicle. YouTube is a vehicle to get you what you want. Okay, so it's a vehicle to get you what you want. So even if you don't overly enjoy the process, even if you feel a little bit uncomfortable on camera, I can tell you that I hated being on camera when I first started. I became a real introvert, and I've always I prefer to work behind the scenes than actually be the person at the front leading. But over time, you get used to it. over creating thousands of videos and pushing yourself to do it, you get more comfortable, it gets easier, just like anything if you practice it. So yes, there's natural people out there, and then there's those of us that really have to grind at it and improve. But there's a reason for doing this. It's worth doing it because YouTube is the vehicle to get to where you want to be. It will get you what you want. So for example, this is a really bad drawing of a paddleboard. Now I bought a paddleboard because obviously I live on the beach, and I go out whenever the weather's nice in the afternoon, and I go and paddle out. Now, I hate paddle boards. I think they're lame. They're massive, great big, boring looking things that people look stupid standing on, doing this stupid thing. So I don't stand on it, I sit and I just oar my way out. But I bought it with a purpose. I bought it because there's a reef where I am on the beach, and the water's quite shallow all the way to that reef, and there's sort of seaweed and rocks in between. So I want to get to the nice water on the other side of the reef where I can have a nice swim. And then the view of the sea and the view of the land behind me is beautiful, and I can watch the sunset and so on. So for me, I don't give a crap about paddleboarding, but the paddleboard is a vehicle to get me to where I want to be. And that's in the nice water, watching the sunset with a fantastic view. So for me, the paddleboard gives me that. So that's what I want. I don't give a toot about paddleboarding. And YouTube is the same. Treat YouTube as the vehicle to get you what you want, but try to have fun while doing it as you're moving forward. And share things from your day and life. So get a little bit personal. You don't need to get hyper personal until you don't want to dox yourself and give away personal information. But sharing day-to-day little things and stuff that's happening in your life, maybe in your business, you can decide how personal you want to get. But it could be sort of POV, point of view situations, observations that you see throughout the day, little things that happen that you could tie into, this made me think about this. And I think it's good practice that if you can carry a little notepad around with you, then you'll be able to make notes of these little stories, and you could tie them in, such as me talking about the paddleboard there. It's little scenarios and little stories that you can use in your videos to make them a bit more personal. Now, me talking about my paddleboard, this isn't any deeply personal information. All you now know is that there's some reef that I need to get past and I have a paddleboard. That's it. This is not really telling anybody about my family and so on, but you can bring in personal information and bits from your life to build that connection with your audience. So those are my thoughts on how to make easier, better content for your YouTube channel. Now, if you would like more free training, I will link to our community in the video description. Otherwise, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.